See what's happening this instant. ABC 11 Eyewitness News at 7 starts right now.
Good morning, Carolina. I'm Anna Rivera.
And I'm John Clark, and you're watching a streaming version of Eyewitness News on the ABC 11 app and your favorite streaming device.
It's time for weather and traffic together. Let's get straight to meteorologist Quaylen Murphy. A stormy night, Quaylen.
That's right, but a much trying to use US 15 northbound and southbound. Back to you guys.
All right, Kim, thank you. And you were just talking about this. We begin now with the aftermath of those overnight severe storms.
Yeah, heavy rain, gusty winds, and lightning causing a mess for thousands of people across the triangle this morning. Our Anthony Wilson is live in Raleigh with the breaking details. Anthony, tell us what you're seeing. We turn now to the major overnight developments on the access to abortion. The state legislature voting to override Governor Cooper's veto of Senate Bill 20.
So that means the bill will move forward to becoming a law. Our Tamara Scott is live with all of the details. Tamara, good morning.
Good morning, John. And
of health care they need.
And keep it here. Coming up at 7:30, we'll talk to a representative from Planned Parenthood, how they're reacting to the veto override. And turning now to our Safer Schools coverage. North Carolina public schools are required to have a safety plan and submit them to the state.
But our I-Team uncovered that last year, hundreds of schools never did. I-Team reporter Samantha Kummerer digs through the data.
And these plans help ensure
Right now from the Beltline to 885. Anna and John.
All right, Kim, thank you. Developing now, a former substitute teacher and volunteer coach with the Cumberland County School District is under arrest. The sheriff's office says 46-year-old Lakeisha Davis is charged with 2 counts of taking indecent liberties with a student and 8 counts of felonious restraint. The school system says Davis most recently served as a sub at New Century International Middle School in Fayetteville.
A missing 12-year-old girl could be in the triangle. Take a look at these pictures of Lady Cardona. She disappeared from her home west of Charlotte on Saturday, April 22nd. According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, she may be in Durham, Raleigh, or Cary. If you've seen Lady or know anything about her disappearance, you're urged to contact local police. New this morning, calls for a congressional oversight for artificial intelligence.
It comes as experts warn that AI could pose significant harm to the world in the wrong hands. ABC's Justin Finch with more from Washington.
On ABC News, Washington.
New this morning, the Biden administration is investing $11 billion to bring more clean energy to rural America. The White House says this would help families keep the lights and heat on during extreme weather events like heat waves, floods, and winter storms. The funding is available through the Inflation Reduction Act.
Happening today, the Wake County Public School District is holding an in-person and virtual job fair for bus drivers. The in-person fair is taking place at the district office on Corning Road in Cary. Hiring managers and human resources staff will be on hand, meeting with interested candidates, reviewing resumes, and potentially conducting interviews. The event will be held from 2 to 4 o'clock this afternoon.
And meantime, happening tomorrow, Harris Teeter is hosting a hiring event at all of its locations. They're looking to hire hundreds of full and part-time associates. Open roles include produce clerks, bakery clerks, cashiers, and baggers. You can visit any location tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. to apply. 7:17 now, time to join GMA before we get another check of the weather.
ABC 11 North Carolina streaming channel.
New this morning, a study finding YouTube's algorithm sends gun videos to kids as young as 9 years old.
ABC's Andrea Fujii has the details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a new report says YouTube recommendations are steering kids to gun-related videos. Researchers posing as 9 and 14-year-olds found that YouTube's algorithm pushed the content to boys interested in video games. It included school shootings and guides on converting guns to automatic weapons. YouTube has not commented on the report. Google is adopting a use it or lose it policy with its accounts. Users who haven't logged into Gmail, Photos, and other apps for at least 2 years will see those accounts disappear. The process will start in December. Finally, Apple is making it easier to find local concerts. The new set list section on Apple Music lets users find an artist's upcoming shows and see what songs they're playing on tour. And a new Maps feature shows future gigs at venues in major cities, including New York, LA, and Chicago. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
New this morning, Chrysler is recalling more than 130,000 of its Jeep Cherokees due to a fire risk. The affected Jeeps were from 2014 through 2016. The U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says an electrical issue in the power liftgate module could cause a fire, regardless of if the vehicle is on or off. The agency recommends parking the vehicles outside and away from other vehicles until the problem is resolved. All new this morning, consumers seem to still be fueling the U.S. economy.
The Department of Commerce reporting retail spending rebounded in April after 2 months of declines. Retail sales rose by 0.4% in April from the month before. That's a bit slower than the 0.8% increase economists had forecasted. Retail sales had fallen 0.7% in March, partly due to lower gas prices and less spending on durable goods.
More news, weather, and traffic just minutes away.
Time to pause for a moment to join our viewers on GMA.
Cameron, thank you. Now let's get new reaction to the veto override.
Joining us now to talk about it all, Molly Rivera from Planned Parenthood. So Molly, thanks so much for joining us. How will this new law impact Planned Parenthood as an organization and its clients?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's a dark day in North Carolina. When the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade last summer, we warned that this General Assembly would try to ban abortion, and that's exactly what they've done last night. We are completely heartbroken and outraged, but our health center doors remain open and we're not going anywhere.
Now, there is a counseling element with this bill, so how will you inform your clients or potential clients about the new law and its regulations?
This is one of the biggest impacts for patients as part of this monster abortion ban. Right now, patients can come into a clinic in person one time to receive a medication abortion. Under this law, they will have to come twice, maybe 3 times for standard health care that the FDA says can be safely provided over telehealth. So we will need to be working with patients to make sure they are able to come into the clinic at least twice in order to get their medication abortion. And this is what we really see as a significant barrier for patients and potentially an insurmountable one, especially for patients who live in rural parts of the state.
And Molly, more and more states are considering restrictions on abortion access. So in your opinion, how does this impact reproductive rights of women, especially here in those southern parts of the country?
This is going to decimate access to abortion across the South. Since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, the South has been experiencing a public health crisis exacerbated by ban after ban after ban. North Carolina has been one of the last access points for abortion care in this region, and now we fear that it will be out of reach, not only for people who call this state home, but for the many people who have been traveling here out of state for care. If a person has driven here more than 9 hours overnight across state lines for an abortion, how do we expect that they would be able to come into a clinic in person for their consultation, wait at least 72 hours, and then come back for their actual appointment? This will be an insurmountable barrier for many folks.
Molly Rivera from Planned Parenthood, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And you can see our extensive coverage of the abortion bill battle on our website and the ABC 11 North Carolina streaming app.
Today, a widely used abortion drug is getting a new day in court. 3 federal appeals court judges are hearing arguments on if mifepristone should remain available. The Supreme Court preserved access to the drug after a federal judge ruled to reverse its FDA approval. Today, the appeals court will hear the case, but will not rule immediately. All 3 judges have a history of supporting restrictions on abortion.
7:38 now. More news, weather, and traffic just 90 seconds away.
Eyewitness News returns after the short break. Thank you. And just in time for the summer travel rush, Breeze Airways launching some new routes at Raleigh-Durham International Airport. Today, the low-cost carrier begins service to Los Angeles, and tomorrow you can fly directly to Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, and Columbus, Ohio. And on Friday, flights begin to Louisville. And now to a developing story from Washington. The Secret Service is investigating a breach at the house of a top White House official.
This is just the latest concerning development when it comes to the security of U.S. officials and lawmakers. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
This morning, the Secret Service is investigating how a man was able to get inside the home of Jake Sullivan, President Biden's national security advisor. A spokesperson says the man entered Sullivan's Washington home around 3 a.m. through an unlocked door, even though Sullivan has round-the-clock Secret Service protection. Sources say the man appeared intoxicated and, after being confronted by Sullivan, left within minutes, possibly not knowing where he was. Leadership at the Secret Service is reportedly furious.
The Secret Service has ordered a comprehensive investigation into what went wrong, both from a personnel standpoint and in terms of technology. I'm told changes have already been made, and depending on the results of the investigation, agents could be held accountable.
It comes amid growing concerns about security for federal officials and their families. Attacks and threats on lawmakers are up 400% in the last 6 years. On Monday, police say a man entered the office of Virginia Congressman Jerry Connolly and attacked 2 staff members with a metal bat. Prosecutors filed a hate crime charge against the suspect for this earlier incident when he was seen chasing a woman, allegedly asking if she was white before smashing her windshield.
He's obviously somebody suffering from serious mental illness.
Earlier this year, police arrested a man for assaulting Minnesota Congresswoman Angie Craig in the elevator of her D.C. apartment. And a staffer for Senator Rand Paul was stabbed leaving a D.C. restaurant in what police describe as a random attack.
Drop the hammer.
Nope.
Hey.
And the most high-profile of recent cases, a man with a hammer attacking former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband in their San Francisco home. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
More news, weather, and traffic just 90 seconds away.
Eyewitness News returns after this short break. This morning, Raleigh police are investigating how a child was able to access a pool before he drowned. Police say the 4-year-old died yesterday morning after falling into a pool at an apartment complex on Cattail Creek Place in North Raleigh. Police say the boy's mother reported him missing, and responding officers found the young boy unresponsive in the water. Neighbors say they are shocked by this tragedy.
It breaks my heart for that parent, but then also it breaks my heart for that child. If the child lives to its normal life expectancy, has so much life to live.
According to CDC data, drowning is the leading cause of death for children ages 1 to 4 in the United States. And we have new details about a girl who was abducted from Illinois 6 years ago.
She's been found safe right here in North Carolina, thanks to a remarkable set of circumstances. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
This morning, 6 years after she was allegedly abducted by her mother in Illinois, Kayla Unbehun has been reunited with her dad, all thanks to an employee at this shopping center in Asheville, North Carolina, nearly 700 miles away, who recognized Kayla's face from a show on Netflix. Kayla was 9 years old back in 2017 when her father, Ryan Izurka, was granted full custody of her. He says Kayla's mom, Heather, later kidnapped her after a visit.
What's most unusual is the ability to stay off the grid, if you will, for that period of time. Typically, we leave a technological breadcrumb, and those are usually very easy and quick to be tracked down.
Netflix released a new season of Unsolved Mysteries last year with an episode centered on parental abductions. Remarkably, Kayla's story was not the main focus of the episode. Her picture was only part of a brief roll call of missing people at the end of the episode. The picture's digitally age progressed.
Media is so important when it comes to the recovery of missing children. Even in these long-term cases, the more we tell the story of these missing children and put their images out to the public, the more likely that they're going to be recovered.
It was a minor working at that shopping center in Asheville who spotted Kayla, recognizing her from not just the Netflix series, but also from her childhood. The connection not clear, but the store manager called police. Kayla's father saying, "I'm overjoyed that Kayla is home safe. We ask for privacy as we get to know each other again and navigate this new beginning." Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Incredible story. And Kayla is now 15 and is said to be in good condition. Her mom was arrested. She is due in court in July.
This morning, Raleigh's Sip and Stroll is getting ready to expand. The City Council approving new boundaries of the social district starting on August 15th. The area will include more of a warehouse district and will start an hour earlier at 10 a.m. Today, a popular concert series returns to downtown Raleigh. The Downtown Raleigh Alliance bringing back Live After 5. Today's performer is the 120 Minutes Band. There will also be breweries and food trucks at City Plaza. The next show will be June 21st. This morning, Raleigh and Durham are back in the national spotlight, sitting high on another list.
The city is tying for third for the best places to live, according to U.S. News. The report analyzed things like quality of life, the job market, and cost of living. Raleigh and Durham were also recognized for access to museums, theaters, restaurants, parks, and greenways, and college and professional teams. Beside being number 3 for the best places to live in the U.S., Raleigh and Durham ranked 29th in best places to retire, first in best places to live in the state, and 13th in best places to live for quality of life.
Of course, we all knew that.
Yeah.
Great place to live and raise your family and all that. So,
That's why we're here, right?
Yes, absolutely. Weather and traffic together now after a bumpy night. Here's meteorologist Quayla Murphy.
Good morning. If you're heading out for Live After 5 today, some great weather conditions for you. 80